Hello there, my name is Father Mike Ford. I'm the director of the Dominican Shrine of St. Jude Thaddeus here in Chicago. And this is part of our weekly video series, Know Before You Go. It's an opportunity for us to get together and to take a look ahead of time at the readings so that as we approach the wonderful and glorious moment that we call the sacrifice of the Mass, that we can be more engaged and more involved. This week is the 6th week of Ordinary Time. February 15th is the readings that we're talking about. And the Gospel today is from Mark 1:40 to 45. And it's basically the story of Jesus cleansing one of the lepers. A leper comes to him and says, "Look, if you would like, you could make me clean." And he said, "I do." So he healed the man and then told him, keep it quiet, which in Mark's Gospel is par for the course. And then go and show yourself to a priest and give what was prescribed by the law of Moses. And what we can see in this type of thing, the fact that Jesus actually healed someone here, believe it or not, is not that big of a deal. Because in Jesus' day, it was kind of a given that a holy man or a healer or someone who was of God would have these particular powers to be able to cure people. And there's a big distinction in there that I'd like to make this week as we go through and we look at these things. The difference between someone being healed and someone being cured. Of course, as the director of the Dominican Shrine of St. Jude, I get tons and tons of people every week who send in prayer requests, some of them who are very sick, and they're looking to be cured of their illness, which is fine. That's a good and holy thing to ask from God. But you notice in today's reading, Jesus not only cures this man of his leprosy, but in a way he heals him. He also tells him, go and do what was prescribed by the law of Moses. Show yourself to a priest. Jesus is showing him that not only is there this bodily curing going on, but that this man, this leper who has been outcast, who's been someone on the margins of society, someone who wasn't even allowed to come into the camp or into town, is now ready to become a part of the fold again. So he asks them, go, do the rituals, do the things that are prescribed so that you can be healed and become a member of the community again. And I think that's something that's very important. You see this a lot. When Jesus does this curing, this miraculous curing of people, he also tries to reconcile them back with the community. Whether it's one leper or the 10, the question is always the same, or the setup is always the same, where Jesus has them reincorporate themselves back into the community. And especially around this time of Valentine's Day, I think it brings up an interesting question. Do we want to have all of our relationships healed, or do we want them cured? Do we want things back to the way they're supposed to be, or do we want that reconciliation that comes from that deeper level of healing, that deeper level of experiencing God's love and bringing it into our relationships? I think often enough we want everything to be peaches and cream and rosy and all this in our relationships, and that's fine. But the truth of the matter is that we need to have these relationships on a deeper level. And that's where Christ comes to heal us. And that's where I think in today's gospel he's pointing us. I hope you've enjoyed this segment of Know Before You Go. This is part of one of the ministries of the Central Province Dominicans, the Order of Preachers as we're known. And we hope that this has given you an opportunity to be better prepared for Mass so that you can know before you go.